Breaking news. It's Sunday, May 11, 2025, and this month is already shaping up to be a major turning point for U.S. immigration policy. Under the Trump administration, changes are rolling out at a rapid pace. We're seeing a wave of executive orders, courtroom battles, and emotional stories from immigrant families playing out in real time. New visa rules, tougher enforcement, and even controversial incentives for people to voluntarily leave the country are making headlines. One proposal just introduced in Congress could make it far more expensive to get or renew a work permit. Immigrants, including asylum seekers and people with temporary protected status, might soon be asked to pay $550 up front and another $550 every 6 months. Supporters say the fees will help fund enforcement, but critics argue this could make legal pathways unaffordable for those fleeing hardship. The State Department has also announced the results of the 2026 Diversity Visa Lottery. Out of millions of global applicants, just 55,000 were selected, offering a rare opportunity for permanent residency through one of the few remaining legal routes. And according to the latest visa bulletin for May, there's some movement in green card categories. For example, the F2A category, which covers spouses and minor children of green card holders, moved forward by more than 3 months. The F4 category for siblings of U.S. citizens also made some progress, about 2 months for most countries, but unfortunately, India and Mexico didn't see any change. On the employment side, EB1 and EB2 remain severely backlogged for India and China, and EB3 for India inched forward just 2 weeks. The EB5 investor visa backlog got worse, with a rollback of 5 to 6 months. Meanwhile, EB4 is now officially closed until the new fiscal year begins in October because the annual cap has already been reached. One of the most controversial changes right now is a new voluntary self-deportation program. The Trump administration is offering undocumented immigrants $1,000 plus paid travel if they choose to leave the U.S. on their own. The program is managed through the CBP One app and is being pitched as a cost-saving alternative to forced deportations. Critics, however, say it targets vulnerable people and bypasses important legal protections. At least one migrant has reportedly accepted the offer so far. At the same time, there's a huge legal fight unfolding at the Supreme Court over an attempt to end parole protections for more than 400,000 migrants from Venezuela, Haiti, Cuba, and Nicaragua. A judge has temporarily blocked the move, but the administration is pushing forward, claiming these protections undermine enforcement. Advocates argue that ending them could tear families apart and violate the law, which requires individual case reviews. The next major deadline in that case is May 15. Immigration and Customs Enforcement has also dropped a bombshell: a new rule giving ICE the power to cancel student visas without needing court review. That's raising alarm bells across the education sector. International students could now face sudden deportation without a chance to defend themselves, and legal experts warn this might scare off future students and hurt an industry that brings in billions of dollars. In another deeply concerning trend, there are more reports of U.S. citizen children being deported with their undocumented parents. In one heartbreaking case, a 4-year-old boy with stage 4 cancer was sent out of the country without his medication. In another, a Venezuelan toddler was placed in foster care after her parents were deported. A judge has raised concerns that a U.S. citizen child may have been removed without due process, but so far, the child hasn't been brought back. Stories like these are reigniting demands for stronger protections. Across the country, USCIS has stepped up enforcement in a big way. Just this month, 133 undocumented people were arrested in New York. Authorities also broke up a marriage fraud ring and handed down multiple convictions tied to trafficking and national security. Still, delays in humanitarian visa programs remain a major issue. People applying under the Violence Against Women Act, as well as UNT visas, are now waiting more than 100 days just to get a receipt notice. And in a surprise move, the Department of Homeland Security has removed Romania from the visa waiver program, citing concerns about security and identity verification. This means Romanian travelers now need to apply for traditional visas, which could affect thousands and possibly set the stage for more countries to be dropped in the future. And finally, there's been a major court decision in Florida. A federal judge has temporarily blocked the state's newest immigration crackdown, which would have punished undocumented immigrants for using public services and even criminalized those who helped them. The court ruled that immigration enforcement is a federal responsibility, not something states can take into their own hands. For now, that ruling brings some relief, but the legal fight is far from over. We'll continue bringing you the latest updates on visa categories like Bone, 2, L1A, L1B, and H1B, as well as green card options from EB1 to EB5. Whether you're planning to study, work, or reunite with family in the U.S., knowing the fees, forms, and wait times is more important than ever. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss critical news that could affect your immigration journey. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a critical immigration alert or update. We break down the policies that impact your status, your family, and your future. Got questions or concerns? Drop them in the comments. We're here to help you stay informed, prepared, and protected. Stay safe, stay aware, and we'll see you in the next video.